Letter writing, mainly two types, informal, formal. For our high school purpose, we practice only two kinds of letters. They are informal letter and formal letters. Let's look at the first one, that is informal letter. Informal letter or personal letter. Informal letters are usually written to close relatives such as father, mother, sister, brother, uncle, aunt, friends, etc. These informal letters we use to express our feelings, thoughts, ideas to our close relatives. When there was no social media at that time, letter writing was very famous. We usually write letters to our close relatives such as our father, mother, brother, sister, uncle, aunt, and also we write these letters to our friends. Steps. First one, from address. The address of the sender. The first step is we should write our address, means those who are writing that person's address. In your SSLC or in your high school letter writing pattern is little different. There you don't write your address, you write some other address. That I will explain you what address you should write there. Then second one step is date. As soon as we write address, below that address we should write date. There are some patterns of writing dates. We may follow one of these three patterns, or so many other patterns are also there. Those patterns also we may follow. 12/2/2020, we may add hyphens here and write date. 12/2/2020, by adding slash also we may mention date. Otherwise 12th February 2020, in this way also we may mention the dates, not this date. On whichever day you are writing, that date you should write. Now let's look at third step. Step number 3, greeting or salutation. Soon after writing from address and the date, we write greetings or salutation. To whom we are writing letter na, to that person we write salutation. My dear father, my dear mother, my dear sister, my dear brother, my dear uncle, my dear aunt, my dear friend, etc. If you are writing a letter to your father, you should start your third step of the letter this way: my dear father. If you are writing letter to your sister, you should write like this type: my dear sister. This is salutation, the third step. Now let's go to the fourth step, that is body of the letter. Whatever matter is there now of your letter, that matter we write in the body of the letter. But we should not start directly writing body of the letter. There are certain attractive and heartwarming sentences. We should use them to make our letter very attractive one. I have listed some of the beginning sentences of the body of the letter and ending sentences of the body of the letter. Let's have a look at them. If we use this kind of sentences, there are so many, but selected are often used are mentioned here. These sentences, beginning sentences and ending sentences, make our letter very attractive. Let's see them. What are those? You may begin your fourth step of the letter the following way: I hope this letter finds you in great health and joy. Startingly, we should inquire about the letter receiver's health and whether he is well-being, his enjoyment. I hope this letter finds you in great health and joy. Hope this letter finds you in good health and cheers. I hope you are fine and taking good care of yourself. How are you? I am fine here. This way also you can start your letter. I hope everything is fine there. These starting sentences are, they wish good to the reader. Then you may end your fourth step the following way. For ending also there are some attractive sentences. Let's see them. Give regards to elders, lots of love to young ones. If there are elder people in our family, we seek blessing from them. If there are younger people in the family, we give blessings to them. So this one contains that kind of sentences, seeking blessings and giving blessings. Give regards to elders, lots of love to young ones. Then convey my greets to one and all. No younger one, no elder one, everyone here. Rest in the next. Here rest means it is not like taking rest. Rest means whatever remaining part is there, that part. I will continue in the next letter. If matter is too much, we write a little bit in this letter and little bit in the other letter, like that. Rest in the next. This letter has not ended yet, but it will continue in the next also. You may use the rest in the next in that way. Asking for blessings from the elders. This is how you may begin and you may end your letter. But between the beginning and the ending, this is body of the letter. That also you should write on your own. You need a lot of practice for that. Now let's look at step number 5. Now we are in fifth step, that is closing the letter. Closing the letter is semi-final. Before writing address, we close the letter. Closing the letter, there are certain ways to close the letter. For different people, we write different closing words. They are mentioned here. Let's see them. For mother, father, sister, then brother, then husband, wife, for them we may write your lovingly. Then for other relatives means maybe uncle, aunt, for them we should write your affectionately. Then for friends we should write yours faithfully. If you write your lovingly for a friend, it doesn't look good. That is why for friends we should write your faithfully, like that. There are so many other closing words, but these are often used. That is why I have mentioned here. You may use these closing words for various people. Now the last step, that is receiver's address. Receiver's address is to address. To address in actual letter we write on envelope, but here for our exam purpose we write in the given page itself. Write receiver's address at the end of the letter. I told you this one, fifth step is semi-final one, and this one is final one. Final one step we write to address to whoever we are sending. Example: we have studied 6 steps of writing letter. Now let's write an actual letter and see how these various 6 steps are used there. Let's try them. Before writing the letter, let's see the question. Example question. Our letter writing question will be like this type. Imagine you are Krishna Kavya studying in 10th standard Government High School, Seshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. While writing the first step of the letter, I was telling you that from address is not your address, especially when it comes to high school English grammar. Our state level second language English grammar and composition, we should not write our own name and address. In examination question paper, in the question, whatever address and whatever name and address is given, that name and address we should write in our from address. So here name and address Kavya, Krishna is there. We should imagine ourselves as Kavya or Krishna, then we should write. And address also this Government High School, Seshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri, not your own address. This address we should mention. Then who we are writing letter and what is the matter, all those things are mentioned here. Write a letter to your father requesting him to send you 500 rupees for your school trip. Body of the letter or matter of the letter is asking our father to send 500 rupees for our school trip. and who we are writing letter to? Our father. So using this question and using these steps, let's try to write a actual letter. Let's try to answer this question. My dear students, so far we learnt the steps of writing letter. Now let's apply these steps and write an actual letter. Let me remind you the question once again. Imagine you are Krishna Kavya studying in 10th standard Government High School, Sheshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. Write a letter to your father requesting him to send 500 rupees for your school trip. This is what the question, letter writing question. Let's solve that question step by step here. Step 1, from address. When I was discussing the steps of writing letter, I told you that we should not write our own name and address here. For our high school grammar and composition, we should write the name and address whatever is given in the question paper, not our own. So in our question, whatever from address is there, that address we should write. In our question, name is Krishna or Kavya. If you are a boy, write Krishna. If you are a girl, write Kavya. If you are both, write both. I am just joking. 10th standard, Government High School, Sheshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. Whatever address is given in that question, that address we have written in the step 1, from address. Now let's come to step 2. That is writing date. I had mentioned many formats of dates. Here I have chosen one of them. Date 22/8/2020. Soon after writing address, we write date. And after writing date, we do salutation or greeting. Here, whom we are writing letter? Writing letter to our father. So we should write my dear father. Salutation is the step number 3. After salutation, we go to step number 4. That's mentioned here only. Step number 4 is body of the letter. Whatever matter is there, that matter we mention in body of the letter. That matter is also given in our question itself. See the question. Write a letter to your father requesting him to send 500 rupees for your school trip. You have already taken down some of the sentences, how to start body of the letter. Trust this letter finds you in good health and joy. I am fine here. How are you? Hope this letter finds you in good health and cheers. Hope this letter finds you in good health and joy. You may mention any one of those sentences. Okay, here I have taken I am fine here. I hope you are also fine there and doing well. This sentence I have taken here. Then we come to, after writing starting body of the letter, we come to the matter. What is that matter? Asking our father to send 500 rupees for our school trip. That we need to explain a little bit. In a beautiful manner we should write. You may write any way we want. We are going on a very important school trip. Our teachers have told us how important the trip is, how it expands our knowledge, and how we will learn better whatever we have learned in the textbooks, and we should extend that learning into our real life, and it is educationally, historically important. A brief explanation of the body of the letter should be there. Now I have tried here to mention briefly about the matter of the letter. I would like to take part in school trip. We are visiting many historically and educationally important places in Karnataka, Badami, Pattadkallu, Aihole, etc. Therefore, please send me 500 rupees for the trip expenditure. So this is the matter of the letter. We should convey it so that the reader understand it better. Then closing of the body of the letter. Starting some sentences, closing some sentences. There are so many sentences you have taken down. Rest in the next, give regards to elders, lots of love to younger ones. This way we can close our body of the letter. Here I have written one small sentence, convey my greets to all. This ends your body of the letter better. Now we are in fifth step that I have told you, it is semi-final one, not final one. For close relatives, mother, father, sister, brother, we use lovingly. Your lovingly, Krishna or Kavya, whoever you are. Then last step, that is step 6, to address, whatever imaginary address is there, that you should write. While writing letter, you should keep in mind, we should write all the steps to the left of the paper. See here, if you keep your book this way, all the steps should come in the left side, your left side, not paper's left side. Paper's left side is this one, your left side. This side only all the steps of the letters should be written one by one, from address, then date, salutation, body of the letter, then closing, then to address, all these things. From address right side, closing of the letter right side, not that confusion. Only to the left of the letter you should write everything. Just now we wrote a letter using all the steps. Now let's go to our annual exam question paper. The exam that was held in June 2020. Second language English. Example 2. Taken from the annual board exam second language English question paper held in June 2020. ಜೂನ್ 2020ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದ ದ್ವಿತೀಯ ಭಾಷೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್, ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಕೀರ್ತನ ಸ್ಟಡಿಯಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೈಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಕೊಪ್ಪಳ. ರೈಟ್ ಅ ಲೆಟರ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬಿಂಗ್ ರಿಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಡೇ ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್. Write it down in your notebook and observe all the steps and format of writing letter. First you write from address. In the from address, if you are a boy you write Kiran, if you are a girl you write Kirtana, only one name you should write. Then your standard, in whichever standard you are writing, that standard you write there, usually 10th standard. Government High School Koppala, whatever address is there in that question, that address itself you have to write, not your own address. Remember, even though I inform my students to write the address that has been given in the question paper, they again and again write their own name and address. That's wrong. Second step, that is date, 26th August 2020. Here I have written the date in a different format. Look at that. Then third step, my dear students, salutation or greeting. He is a friend, that is why we are telling my dear friend. Then our fourth step, that is body of the letter. Hope this letter finds you in good health and joy. See here, you have already taken down 5 opening lines of body of the letter. Any one of those lines you may use while writing your letter, or form your own beautiful attractive line to begin your letter. That will also do. After this opening line of the body of the letter, we go to actual body of the letter, the matter of the letter. What is the matter? Whatever Republic Day celebrations we have done, that we need to write here. The 71st Republic Day was celebrated on January 26 at GHS Koppala school grounds, where we are hoisting our tricolor on 26th January at GHS Koppala. You have to explain here as you are the student of GHS Koppala. We all the students took pride in celebrating the spirit of unity and brotherhood. The importance, the greatness of the Republic Day we should mention here. The event began at 7:30 a.m. with the hoisting of tricolor by the chief guest, Mr. Narayan, the educationist. The main important part of celebrating 26th January is flag hoisting. And who hoisted the flag? That also we need to mention here. The students of all the classes took part in different cultural activities, and many of us won prizes as well. After the flag hoisting, many cultural activities take place, that maybe speeches, songs, skits, dramas, small plays, how the constitution was written, and all those important things. Highlighting these things, we perform various cultural activities, and that is important thing. About that also you have to explain. You can explain more how you prepared your school a day before itself, how you all conducted march past, how you cleaned your school and decorated. All those points you may add. You are free to write this body of the letter. Last part, rest in the next convey my regards to all. This is not the only thing about our Republic Day. Still lot more is there to write to you, saying that rest in the next. You say your best regards to everyone. You say your namaskaras to everyone. Convey my regards to all. By ending also, there are beautiful lines. Put one ending line and finish your letter. Yours faithfully, Kiran Kirtana. For friend, we write yours faithfully, then Kiran Kirtana, whoever you are, your name you should write. Then last stage, writing the to address. To Naveen, 10th class, 3rd stage, Bengaluru. This is what the letter writing.
My dear students, so far we studied about informal letters or personal letters. Let's make a small revision of what we have learned. Letter writing, type 1, personal letter. Steps: from address, date, greeting or salutation, body of the letter, closing the letter, receiver's address. Imagine you are Ravi Ravina, 10th standard, studying in Government High School, Chandapura. Write a letter to your mother explaining about your studies. Step 1, from address, Ravi Ravina, 10th standard, Government High School, Chandapura. Step 2, date, 24/8/2020. Step 3, greeting or salutation, my dear mother. Step 4, body of the letter. Trust this letter finds you in good health and joy. My study is going on very well. I wake up at 4 in the morning every day. I have prepared a timetable. I follow the timetable strictly and study regularly. All my teachers teach me very well. They encourage me to get clarification for all my doubts, if any. I am sure that I will score more than 95% of marks in the annual exam. Rest in the next. Convey my regards to all. Step 5, closing the letter. Yours lovingly, Ravi Ravina. Step 6, receiver's address. To Seema Patil, 3rd cross, 4th main, Narayanapura.
My dear students, just now we discussed about informal letter. Now let's have a look at formal letters also. Type 2, this is formal letter. It is also called as official letter. Formal letters are mainly written for official purposes. They are written for special people such as dignitaries, authorities, colleagues, heads of educational institutions. These formal letters are usually written for our official works. These are written for the high level dignitaries, for educational institution heads, and for our colleagues who are above us or who are below us in the ranking. This official letter, this formal letter also has certain steps. Let's have a look at these steps. Steps 1, from address, the address of the sender. In the from address we write the sender's address, whoever is writing the letter na, that person's address we write in from address. Then date, soon after writing from address, below that date, below that from address we write date. There were some patterns we discussed in the previous episode. The same patterns I have mentioned here also. Soon after writing date we come to to address. To address means the address of the receiver. To whom you are writing the letter, that person's address you should mention here. See here, in the informal letter we wrote to address at the end of the letter. That was the 6th step. But here in the formal letters, the to address is at the 3rd step. 4th one, greeting or salutation. To whom we are writing letter na, for those person we have to salute, we have to greet. Respected sir or respected madam if the head is female. These are the first four steps of writing official letter. Let's look at the 5th step. So far we saw 4 steps. Now the 5th step in official letter or formal letter. 5th step is subject. Subject requesting for. We are writing the letter to the heads of the offices here. So while we are writing, we have a subject for that. What subject? What is the work that we want to be done, that we should write? Take the example of your school. You want a transfer certificate or you want a character certificate. In the subject you write that. In 1 or 1.5 line you write this subject. Requesting for transfer certificate or requesting for character certificate. This way. If you are writing this to Gram Panchayat, there you write. If you have any problem in your village, taking one of the examples of the village problems, we may write that also. Requesting for safe drinking water, requesting for good roads. After writing subject, we directly come to body of the letter. Whatever matter is you have mentioned in the subject, that you write in detail here. How we saw some of the starting and ending lines in our informal letters, the same way here also I have selected some lines for starting as well as a line for ending to keep in our mind. So these are not the only lines. There are so many lines you may use, but these are often used. That is why I have selected and mentioned here. You may begin body of the letter this way. With due respects, I would like to request you. We are writing the higher officers here. That is why with respect we have to begin our letter. It should be smooth one and it should be attractive one. Then you may write, I am writing this application to request you. That also will do. These are the beginning lines. Then closing lines of the body of the letter. You may end the body of the letter the following way. So please consider my request. For closing also many sentences, but this may be used universally. That is why I have selected only one sentence for closing of the body of the letter. So please consider my request. Whatever request we have made there, again requesting them to consider that point. And now 7th one, we do thanking. It may be thanking you or thank you. Shortly we should write this. Now we go to closing the letter and signature. Soon after thanking the person, thanking the authority, what we do? We close the letter. While closing the letter, we may use these words. Yours faithfully or yours sincerely. There are certain other words also to close a letter and signature. But these two are often used and the mostly used ones. That is why I have selected here. Whether to use faithfully or sincerely. If you search for them in the internet, there are innumerable instances where to use faithfully or where to use sincerely. That itself takes 2-3 classes to explain here. So for our high school purpose, this much is enough. So you may write this one or that one. Then below that line you should put a signature of. Then last one, that is place. You have to mention the place also at the end of the letter. Then on envelope, this drawing one envelope picture, you may write to address also. So these are what the steps of writing official letter. In informal letter we saw only 6 steps, but this official letter has 9 steps. Let's write an actual official letter using these steps. My dear students, so far we learnt the steps of formal letter. Now let's write an actual formal letter. Here is the question. Write this question neatly in your notebook and follow all the steps. Imagine you are Krishna Kavya studying in 10th standard Government High School, Sheshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. Write a letter to the President of Grama Panchayat requesting him to provide safe and clean drinking water for your village. This is our question. Let's write letter. Just now we wrote the question of the actual official letter. Now let's try to answer that question. The question was, imagine you are Krishna Kavya studying in Government High School, Sheshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. Write a letter to the President of your village, Gram Panchayat, requesting him to provide safe and clean drinking water. This is the question. Let's try to solve that question using all the 9 steps that we have studied in the previous classes. Here step 1, from address. As usual, whatever address is given in that question, that address itself we have to write here. From Krishna Kavya, 10th standard, Government High School, Sheshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. Then step 2 is date. We have to mention the date, 22/8/2020. Any pattern you may use to write date. You may observe some similarities between informal letter and formal letter. In the informal letter also we wrote step 1 and step 2, from address and date. Both official letter and personal letter are same when it comes to step 1 and step 2. But when step 3 comes, both the letters are different. There step 3 we wrote salutation. My dear father, my dear sister, my dear friend, like that. But here we write to address in step 3. To address, to whom we write the letter, that person's address we should write here. Whom we are writing here? We are writing to President Gram Panchayat, Sheshagiri. So that address we need to write. That address also you have to assume from the question itself. Okay. To the President Grama Panchayat, Sheshagiri, Taluk Hangal, District Haveri. 3 steps over. Now let's go to step number 4. Step number 4 is salutation. We have to salute or greet the person whom we are writing letter. The person may be male or the person may be female. Respected sir / madam. Soon after step 4 we go to step 5, that is subject matter. Whatever subject matter is there, that in 1 or 1.5 line we write that. Subject requesting for. For all the official letter, you write requesting for. You may start like this. You may start like this. Requesting for. What is the subject of our letter? Providing safe and clean drinking water. So that subject you have to write. That problem you have to highlight in the subject just in 1.5 lines. Requesting for safe and clean drinking water. In step 5 we wrote the subject. Now in step 6 we should expand that, we should explain that problem so that the responsible person will look into the matter and try to solve that problem. Step 6, body of the letter, whatever matter we have written that we should explain. With due respect, I request you. I have mentioned 2 starting points in the body of the letter of the official letter. When it comes to personal letter, there are so many lines to begin the body of the letter, there are so many lines to end the body of the letter. But for official letter, I have mentioned only 2 beginning sentences and only 1 ending sentence so that we may apply them to almost all the letters. You may use your own different creative starting sentences or ending sentences of the body of the letter. These are not the final, these are just example. You may use these also. With due respect, I request you. I am Krishna Kavya, resident of Seshagiri village. Who are you? That also you have to introduce. We should mention your name once again here. The water that is being provided through taps is very dirty. Sometimes it smells badly. Now you come to the topic and you begin explaining that topic. How was the water? The water is dirty and it is not safe and it is smelling. I have tried to draw the attention of the waterman many times, but the problem has not been solved. Locally you have tried to solve the problem, but the problem hasn't been solved so far. This problem needs your immediate attention. So you have to draw the attention of the responsible person. And so please consider my request. This is the sentence, ending sentence this is. So please consider my request. This might be written to each and every official letters. This is not the final body of the letter. This is just an example. You may write on your own. And how that water is causing many diseases in your area, by saying that also you may draw the attention of the president of that village, and you may say that how many children were admitted to the hospital drinking this bad water, how the aged people are suffering from the bad drinking water, how it needs a lot of struggle of boiling this that. So you may write any way you want so that you may draw the attention of the responsible person. Just now we considered 6 steps of the letter. Another 3 steps are there. Total 9 steps we have in official letter. Come, let's have a look at them also here itself. Now let's look at remaining through 3 steps also. After finishing body of the letter, we directly come to thanksgiving. That is step 7. You may write thank you or thanking you. Both will do. Usually people write thanking you. So step 7, thanking you. After step 7, step 8 is closing the letter. We usually close the letter yours sincerely or yours faithfully. Here also you may write yours faithfully, as we did in our personal letter. While writing personal letter, we wrote yours faithfully to our friends. And here we may write to our higher officials also as yours faithfully. Here yours sincerely, it is commonly used. That is why your sincerely. After writing your sincerely, you sign here Krishna or Kavya, whatever name you have given there. Then last step, that is writing the place. You write your place and finish the letter. That's it. So this is what the official letter we wrote here using a question. Now let's take an example of a question that was asked in SSLC 2020 June. Recently completed that exam. That question is asked. Now let's take that question and try to write the letter. Example 2, taken from the question paper of second language English annual board examinations June 2020. Question: imagine you are Kiran Kirtana studying in Government High School Koppala. Write a letter to the Commissioner City Municipal Corporation complaining about drainage problems in your locality. So this is the question that has appeared in the annual board examination of second language English question paper June 2020. So this is the question. Let's take this question and let's try to write the answer for this question. And here is the answer, the beginning of the answer. First and foremost thing we do in official letter, in personal letter as well, we write from address. From address is whatever given in the question itself, that we should write, not our own. From Kiran Kirtana, if you are a boy, write Kiran. If you are a girl, write Kirtana. Government High School Koppala, whichever school you are studying. Date 22/8/2020. This is the second step of writing official letter. First and second steps of official letter and personal letter are same, formal and informal letter. Here third step is to address. To address to the address which is given in the question itself. So whom we are writing letter here? To the Commissioner City Municipal Corporation Koppala. Then salutation, greeting we see in the next board. Right now 3 steps, still 6 more steps are there. Let's see them. We are discussing here about the question paper of June 2020 annual exam second language English. Now let's go for the fourth step, that is salutation or greeting. Respected sir, madam. If the commissioner was sir, you may write sir. If the commissioner was madam, you may write madam. So both I have written here. Then the fifth step is subject. Whatever problem we are highlighting in our letter, that is the subject that we should write here. Requesting for the solution of the drainage problem. Now body of the letter. This is the sixth step in our formal letter. In the sixth step we explain the problem, whatever problem we are facing. So while starting the body of the letter of the formal letter, I had given you 2 sentences. One of them you may use, or there are so many starting sentences of the body of the letter of the formal letter, you may use them also, or you may create your own beautiful starting sentence. So here I have used the second one, that is, I am writing this letter to request you for the solution of the drainage problems in our locality. You requested at the beginning of the body of the letter itself. I am Kiran Kirti, resident of Ramanand Nagar. You introduce yourself in a sentence or 2 sentences. Then you come to the real problem. The condition of the drainage system in our locality is very bad. So you have to explain the problem in your own words, highlighting the problems it is causing to the citizens of that area. So here a fair explanation I have tried. Let's see that. The condition of the drainage system in our locality is very bad. As the water clogged up, the insects have started to breed. The rainy season is on the way. This would further add more problems. So please consider my request. So you explain the problem in your own words. You may add more sentences. You may add more words to this. So you may add how that drainage problem is causing more and more diseases, how the people are falling sick and they are being admitted to the hospital, and how that's causing everyday hurdle for the commuters. They go to office and come every day. The people who go outside every day, for them how it is causing traffic problems. You may add more, keeping in mind the time and the space that is provided to us. So we finished body of the letter. Before finishing the body of the letter, we write one ending line. So please consider my request. The only one ending sentence I have provided to use in almost all the official letters. You may find your own, or you may create your own ending sentence. So this is the body of the letter. You explained the problem in the body of the letter. Now we go to 7th step, that is thanksgiving. Two types you may do thanksgiving. One, you may write thanking you, or you may write simply thank you. That will also do. Then the 8th step, that is a closing of the letter. Yours sincerely, Kiran, Kirtana. Yours sincere, your faithfully also you may write. There are others and other words are also there. You may use those words also. This is the 8th step, and 9th step is writing the place. Whichever place you belong to, that place you write here. Place Koppala. Then you may add one more step, that is 10th step also, that is envelope, and on the envelope you write to address. My dear students, come, let's have some more details regarding formal letter.
My dear students, so far we studied about formal letter. Let's have a look at a small summary of that formal letter. Letter writing type 2, formal letter, steps 1, from address or sender's address, 2, date, 3, receiver's address or to address, 4, greeting or salutation, 5, subject, 6, body of the letter, 7, thanking, 8, closing the letter and signature, 9, place, then last one, receiver's address on envelope. You may add this one also. Imagine you are Ravi Ravina, 10th standard, studying in Government High School, Chandapura. Write a letter to your headmaster requesting him to issue your transfer certificate. From Ravi Ravina, 10th standard, Government High School, Chandapura. Date 24/8/2020. To the headmaster, Government High School, Chandapura. Respected Sir, Madam, with due respect, I request you to issue my transfer certificate. I am Ravi Ravina. I have passed the SSLC examination with a distinction. Now I would like to have admission to PUC and continue my education in Swami Vivekananda PUC College, Ranebennur. So kindly issue my TC. My registration number is 29/2019-20. Thanking you. Yours faithfully, Ravi Ravina. Place Chandapura. to the headmaster, Government High School, Chandapura. Thank you.
We studied the meaning of the formal letter, we studied steps of the formal letter, we wrote an example of formal letter, and we went further and we took an example from the annual exam of June 2020, second language English. We wrote that letter also. Now we shall start our study on the topic profile writing.